Reel
All right,
us
we're going to
back
get it
in,
back on with
Sean.
the last game of the week, the Buccaneers versus the Lions. Ty Bob, I'm going to go ahead out and say it. I'm wrong about Baker Mayfield so far. He's looking damn good down there. All he needs is a little bit of continuity. He had what, one passing touchdown, one rushing touchdown, and he broke that dude's ankles going for it.
Dog.
Little
Baker
dog, but
Mayfield.
yeah, dog.
Dog.
Uh, Dan Campbell doing Dan Campbell things like normal. He had a fake punt. I think it was the punter's second week in the league. Throws it right down the middle, converts on that fourth down. But it all comes down to Dan Campbell again because twice or actually first half, he couldn't decide between a field goal or if he's going to go for it on fourth down.
Mhm.
Ended up having 20 people on the field at once. Get a penalty, time runs off. You can't do anything with that. Same thing with him in the second half. He tried to go for it on fourth down multiple times. You had so many opportunities to go in, especially in the last few minutes, that you can't capitalize on that. He was right whenever he was saying, telling everybody at the post game, it's all on him. Dan, you're right. It's all on you. And I got a question for you guys. The way he plays, do you think that they're going to keep up the high level of play all year as far as number one seed like last year? Or do you think this is the time where it kind of starts falling off? Because coaches like this, it's a give and take. They're always good for a little bit and they fall off. Do you
I
think he's going
think
to be
they'll
able to
still
keep
be
that
one of the
going?
better teams, but I don't know if they'll be the number one seed.
No, I think I do think Dan Campbell has learned from his mistakes, and a good coach, he did everything he was supposed, like he thought he was supposed to do. He went with his gut. He was wrong. He's going to wear it on his chest as he always does. If Dan Campbell can get the hell out of the way of of the Lions, I think they can do it. I think they're going to have to, you know, probably do it in an unconventional way or some way they're not used to. They have some adversity that they have to deal with now in the locker room going into this coming week. But yeah, I think if Dan Campbell can just kind of get the hell out of their way, in like, and I mean that in the most kind of like respectful way. Like honestly, like if Dan Campbell can just like not shoot himself and his team literally in the foot, I think they can make a run at a one seed at least. I think they
Can,
can.
can we sit here and blame it on Dan Campbell? Can we
I mean,
sit
once you
here and
start making
truly
commercials, you gotta reel it in a little bit, Dan.
Andy Reid's been doing it? Like, what are we talking about? Like, if
He's proven he can do it though.
the Detroit
Yeah.
Lions had like 90 plus snaps, they had
On
90 plus
offense?
offensive snaps. Jared Goff went 34 of 55. He did have 307 yards, no touchdowns, and two interceptions. They had one
They were
rushing
bad
touchdown
interceptions too.
from David Montgomery. Jameer
Again, it's a
Gibbs
team
did not
game.
get in the end zone.
It's a team game.
So, yes, I'm not blaming it all on Jared Goff. I mean, you can't throw those two big interceptions. So I'm gonna blame some of it, maybe a majority on Jared Goff. But I don't think we can sit here and blame Dan Campbell for being as aggressive as he is or whatever type of coach that he is when your offense has 90 plus snaps and you only put up 16 points. And out of those
Yeah.
16 points, only one of them is a touchdown.
How many times did they go for it when they could have taken a field goal? I don't.
I was at the game, so Sean,
I believe it was three.
So what? There's 9 points right there.
that wins the
That gives you
game.
a W. I mean, but that's like, I mean, we haven't talked about it, and I guess we can later. But like, that's what Nick Sirianni did on Monday night. Kick the fucking field goal. The
Take the
the
points.
game, the point of the game is to score more points than the other team. So take the
Okay,
points when you
that's
can
fair.
take the points. I think going for it on fourth down with a fake punt on your own 20, you got
Balls.
swingers like Sean, because like that that takes cojones again. But yeah, I think
Also, if you have a little bit better of a quarterback, maybe you don't hit those fourth down situations that you feel like you need to go for it.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, we sit there and go, okay, that's part of the aggression. At the same point, like if I'm inside the 20, if I'm able to pin the opposition back, and maybe it's worth risking. Sometimes we've seen it work last year. Maybe it's working against in their favor this year. But
Yeah, yeah.
at the same point in time, like, hey, I've got a guy out here who's ripping it, 55 times, and the dude can't get it done in 3 downs. Well, let's go for it on fourth. You have a little bit
Uh-huh.
better of a quarterback. You don't have to worry about going for it on fourth.
Or if you trust your defense, like if you trust your defense like that, you're like, yeah, all right, they get the ball at their like R40. Like, I don't give a shit. Our
It's
defense
so
is going to
especially
wild.
stop
So
them.
the
especially
Lions have more than 90 snaps. The Bucks had 40, a little over 40. Like,
Well,
your
yeah.
defense did their job.
I think this is all perspective though, because if he kicks those 3 field goals, they all go in and they win. We're not sitting here talking about like, can the Lions be a number 1 seed?
Agreed.
We're talking about the Lions know how to get it done when Jared Goff has a shit day. So I
but
think it's
you should
all,
be trusting your defense at that point because Aiden Hutchinson had 4.5 sacks on the day.
yeah, like that's what I think that's more surprising to me.
Yeah.
You because the Ravens did the same damn thing. You have to win if you sack the quarterback 4 or more times. You have to fucking win. And what amazed me about the Bengals, if you win the turnover battle, you have to win the game. And you can't. So this is just like teams not being able to get it done when like they've been put in good positions to win. With the Ravens and the Lions. The Chiefs won. Obviously, we know that. But, Ravens and Lions, like you just have to finish those games. The Raiders, there should have been no reason the Raiders won that game.